I would like to welcome everybody to another PPHM Connection Cast. Today we are looking at a new exhibit, Stones and Bones from the Collection. With us, of course, Jeff Indeck, who is the curator of this exhibit. Why don't you just kind of take us through the exhibits?
With archaeology and paleontology and all of the things that are associated with that. And it becomes a really interesting exhibit. We're looking at, in the initial part of this exhibit, really the art, whether it's art from archaeological sites or paleontological sites. What we have are pictographs and petroglyphs. One of the very unusual specimens is a set of oversized footprints that were actually found on an altar in one of the Southern Plains villages up at Alabates about 550 to 850 years ago. We've got what was part of a large mural that interprets the mammoths and the mastodons that were here in the area. And we've got a bison skull atop a pole, which was the kind of thing that was often erected at bison kill sites, all the way up into historic times. What's very interesting is in our exhibit we have one from Lake Theo, and it's 10,000 years old, so it shows a little bit of the culture continuum for 10,000 years. Elsewhere in the exhibit we have things as exotic as a whale vertebrae that's carved on two sides. It's a wedding gift, and one side has a smiley face and the other side has a frowning face. This one's peculiar because the reason we have it is the wedding never took place. So I don't know if that's a smiley face up or a frowning face up. In the first A-frame case we have archaeology predominantly, and one of the things is when people look at artifacts, they see the form, but they don't often think about the material that they're made from. Mm-hmm. And this shows raw material and artifacts from various lithic sources that we find in the Texas Panhandle. For 12 years, I've been trying to do a fluorescent minerals exhibit. Basically, what the concept is there are minerals that fluoresce, they glow when exposed to light of different wavelengths. And so what we do is we put it on two different wavelengths, initially one, then another, so it's short wave and then long wave, and then both. And what's interesting is the fourth thing that we do is we make it dark again. And what you will see is afterglow. And the afterglow is that some of the minerals retain the energy even when the light source is taken off. And that's a concept called phosphorescence. Okay. And relative to rocks, we've also got a couple of just really cool mineral specimens that we were able to include. The other part of the exhibit deals with paleontology, which is bones that are stone primarily. To put it into perspective, however, we have an entire human skeleton so that people can see what the bones are, laid out anatomically. Mm-hmm. Another part of this exhibit is it shows a comparison between a cow femur mm-hmm. and a large mammoth femur. And what you can see is the similarities in the bone, particularly if you compare it to the human material. And so you see that the femurs all look more like femurs than they do any of the other 206 bones in the body, and that you can still see it is the same bone whether it's a foot long or 3 feet long. We have a link to a website that allows you to bring up skeletons of different primates as well as humans, and also allows you to click on individual bones or compare individual bones from different animals. And it's really cool because in addition to just seeing, you can rotate them and manipulate them so that you can see underneath them or turn them sideways. Or a very unusual historic bison skull. It is unusual in that there is a circular hole in the top of the skull. And our interpretation is This was made by a historic Plains Indian when they killed a bison and carefully removed the top of the skull to remove the ceremonial activity preserved in a bone artifact. In addition, we've got some wonderful paleontological specimens, a large bear dog that is actually the type specimen for a class of animals that are actually no longer around.
Jeff, this is an incredible exhibit. Like, one of the phenomenal things is everything in here pertains to our area, so that it's not something far away. I mean, it's part of home, and that the connection made there is very, very interesting. Any final comments you have for us, or?
I would just say that is really important, that a lot of people don't appreciate what we have here in the Texas Panhandle, and that it is remarkable and incredible, and any of the other adjectives you want to associate with it. And that was one of the reasons we did this exhibit. It's the material from our collections, and our collections are focused on the Texas Panhandle, or the Panhandle-Plains, and related areas of the Southwest.
Well, great exhibit. I appreciate you taking time to show it to us. And anybody that has any questions about it, you can give us a call at 806-651-2244, or you can visit our website, www.panhandleplains.org, and we hope you will all come make your own connection.